What a difference a week makes. I am fired up, guys. That game was so awesome, and it was fun to sit here on my couch and watch it and break it down like sometimes Kyle does or Nate does, and not have to worry about drunken people like me and my other buddies. Anyway, what a great game, and I'm excited about this podcast. This is the Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad, brought to you by Whiskey Red Saloon. I am Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am PJ Spiller, a.k.a. Pat Jillick.
I am Dan Rocket Man Savage.
I'm Nate the Texas Rocket.
And I'm Kyle W.
That's Kyle W. Smith, engineer, producer extraordinaire to you and me. And guys, by our predictions last week, we thought this was going to be a close one. But the Rockets come out, score early and often, just whip up on those Hilltoppers from Western Kentucky. Your final score, 45-21. You guys were there. Some of you were there. What was it like, Dan? The biggest party in Toledo once again, 24,000 plus.
Yeah, it was a late arriving crowd. We got there a little too early, I think. I'm just kidding. We had a great time. You can't beat it. The first home game always has a little bit of extra sauce to it. We made some sloppy joes, and we found some sloppy toppers and out in the field there as that game got kicked off. But glad to be back at home at the Glass Bowl. It's awesome. It's going to be tough to repeat that type of crowd though the rest of the year because as we've discussed, it's a little lackluster coming in the rest of the year. But hey, I'll take it. That's a big dub at home, and looks like the Rockets are firing on all cylinders, as they say.
Yeah, I agree. The only thing I didn't see a lot of from us was tight end play. I mean, we had a couple of receptions that were decent, but if we can get some more, action, get the tight ends into the little bit more into the offense, it would be great. But
yeah, it did seem like a game where everybody was getting a touch here or there.
Yeah, and the defense was on fire. Obviously, I mean, our defensive line looked like they've been veterans together, for 5 years, and the linebackers were surprisingly efficient.
Yeah, they played like they've been together for a while.
Nate, what was your take on the game?
Well, thanks to ESPN, it took me a minute. I turned the game on and it was already 14-0. I was like, oh wow! Didn't realize that my subscription was changed, so I had to hurry up and buy ESPN to get it. So that was fun. But no, yeah. I mean, I couldn't believe it. Listen, if you would have told me last week that we were gonna lose our starting QB and we were gonna win this game by 20 plus points, I'd be like, you're crazy. Go home. Like you're drunk. But
Yeah.
But no, it was fantastic. I mean, everything. Me and Ryan were talking, pre-show, and we were like, man, that Kentucky loss just hurts a little bit now after the performance like this. It's like, man, that just. Oh, it was great. It was fantastic.
Well,
it was great to see.
I'm not sure what to make of Kentucky. I thought they looked pretty solid against Ole Miss, and I don't know what to make of Ole Miss. It's just way too early to tell right now.
Oh, absolutely.
I was blown away. Honestly, like if Tucker's going to get hurt, you might as well have him get hurt when it's 31-7 and then precautionarily keep him out the rest of the game, because when he came out, so did Trainum, so did everybody else, because we were just laying the wood. So
And Kyle and I were watching the game together, and I looked at him and I said, it might not be a bad thing if they sit Tucker out for the next game against Morgan State. If he's really hurt, you know what? They're not going to need him.
he was, as we talked, about the camaraderie with the offense, especially the quarterbacks when we had Coach Hallett on, he was jumping around, celebrating with everybody in the second half. So I've got a feeling that the injury isn't too serious.
Yeah.
I mean, he was walking on his own initially when he first came out. Knee was iced, but it seemed like he was moving on his own pretty decently.
Yeah, 1,000%. Biggest party in Toledo. It was a very big party, if I must say. I'm going to go through some stats here that really clicked when I went through the stat page, because highlights can only do so much, and you only can remember so much when you're in the Glass Bowl after the biggest party in Toledo. But
some stats for your ass by Rocket Man Dan.
Maverick MacGyver, their quarterback, he played okay. 23 of 38, 235 yards. 2 touchdowns and a pick. That's not a horrible stat line. But he did not feel the pressure at all. We got to him early and often. Their one wide receiver that really stood out, it was not Katie Hutchinson, it was Musa Berry. 3 receptions, 110 yards. You can really pick on our third corner when he's probably just an undrafted free agent and the other 2 are NFL players. So, heck of a game for Musa Berry for Western. We gave up 0 sacks, so the offensive line better reel that back because they look like they were in midseason form against Western. And their punter, I feel like is worth mentioning. Cole Maynard, 52-yard average on 5 or 6 punts. That's pretty damn good. But when we can run the ball at will, it doesn't really matter how long we have to go. We definitely capitalized when we had the ball on the offensive end. Chip Trainum for the Rockets. My goodness, guys. 14 carries, 163 yards, 11.6 yard average, 2 TDs on the ground, 1 receiving. Guys, what do we think about Chip Trainum? That boy's the deal.
I mean, it's what we expected, where he got recruited at and where he's been bouncing to. He's definitely got talent, so it's exactly what I was expecting this year from him. So hopefully he keeps it up.
And, it's one of those deals, too, where it's not like he did this against a 1AA opponent. This was, a good, solid group of 5 team. And, he ran wild and now he's averaging over 100 yards a game so far this year. So
unbelievable. And it's cool that we're getting him in the receiving game, too. I like that we have a balanced guy that you can't just put a spy on Tucker because he's the running quarterback. No, you got to watch out for multiple people in the backfield. And that also goes for Kenji Christian. That was a coming out party for our grad senior there from North Carolina A&T, I believe. 15 carries, 91 yards, a 6.1 yard average. Also pretty dang good.
Nothing wrong with that. That's for
He looked
sure.
quick to me. Pretty quick on camera, at least from home. I don't know about in person there, Dan, but
I was hyping him up like crazy. I was going row by row, like, look at this guy. Look, he's going to get it. Look at him go. Oh my God, he's slippery. Very impressive. I want to see him in the end zone against Morgan State. Some other stats. We had, Junior Vandeross. He's a known commodity here at Toledo. Only 5 receptions, 122 yards for a 24.4 yard average. Pretty damn good, I would say.
Yeah.
And then our tight end room, we had one touchdown there with Peterson and Connor Jones. So he did have a big drop last year that I was like, who the heck is that guy? But hey, touchdown from John Allen Richter, pretty good. 45 yards and a touchdown from the tight end group. Can't really complain, can we?
no.
No.
On the defensive end, Pointer and Luce Julien, 1 sack each. Andre Fuller, 2 passes defended. 508 total yards. 7.3 yards per carry for all the running backs. I mean, Connor Wallensack played pretty damn good when he got in. And a little bit of improvement in the penalties. Only 9 this week for 78 yards. So by the end of the year, it'll be all cleaned up, I hope.
And we'd be remiss if we didn't mention once again Emmanuel McNeil Warren. I mean, back-to-back series. First of all, he recovers a fumble. Next series, pick 6. Ben Sullivan, if you were here with us, he would be. He's still with it. I mean, he's still alive, people. Just in case he just got married. I don't think anybody offed him yet. I don't think the wife put any poison in the soup or anything yet. But anyway, if Ben were here, he would be so fired up because, what was that, 2-3 years ago, he was predicting big things for this guy.
And I don't know who the color guy was with Michael Ray guy, but he was horrible.
Oh, Gerard Cherry. He was terrible.
He called McNeil Warren McNeil Freeman like 5 times. Who the hell is Emmanuel McNeil Freeman?
I don't Morgan McNeil.
I think he was thinking of Freeman McNeil. You'll run back.
Like 5 times. Even Sue was like, who the hell is this guy?
Who was the color guy?
Clown?
It was Reggie Rooker or something like that.
Guy named Gerard Cherry. Played the NFL.
Too.
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Yeah, something like that,
I've never heard of him, but
Ray guy was pretty solid. The only thing that bothered me with both of them is they were talking about Vandeross, and they were kind of talking about his size overall at the next level, and they didn't think maybe he would cut it, but you got sure hands, like that's all you need. The dude's got speed.
Yeah, I
Right.
looking around the league
Yep.
this week, that guy's a first team All Macker, and Chip Trainum's going to be in there for MAC Player of the Year, I think. Tucker Gleason as well, but a wide receiver, Junior's got a shot. He's looked pretty good after 2 weeks.
He's got plenty of tape. It's not like this is his first breakout game.
Yeah, for sure.
And guys, while we're at it, didn't know if you heard, Trainum was named MAC Offensive Player of the Week for those 163 yards and 3 touchdowns in that win. So anyway, congrats to old number 1, the pride of Akron Hoban.
Yeah, very well deserved there. I also think, just looking at the big picture, Western Kentucky is going to be okay. I think we kind of threw them some new looks they weren't ready for. I'm not sure that they have the best offensive line, but Liberty lost this week. I don't think Conference USA has too many contenders, so that team could. They're gonna lose to LSU later in the year. That's pretty much a given. But they could be a 10-2 conference champion, and we just dragged them through the mud like they did not expect, for sure. So any Toledo fans, for a fun listen this week, go over to Topper Talk and see what they have to say about the game, because I'm sure they're not too happy about their showing against the Rockets at the historic Glass Bowl. So we've got players of the game this week, and I think we can do offense and defense. So what do you guys think?
Sure, let's roll through it.
All right, I'll take it first. On defense, I'm going to go with Emmanuel McNeil. Warren, not Freeman.
Yeah.
I got to change my notes real quick.
Write that down, will you? And then on offense, I've got to go with Chip Trainum. At one point, he had 12 carries and 144 yards, a 12-yard average. Come on, man.
Yeah, dude's beast.
I'm the same as you on defense, Pat. Offense, huge shout out to Chip. He deserves it this week. But I do want to give a shout out to Richter, because he came in and, handled business as a second stringer. Like, it was no big deal. So
he is my emoji on my my AVI on Twitter and our little graphic. I am John Allen Richter. So yeah, he did a formidable job, I would say.
Yeah.
His interception, though, we want that one back, but that's all right. We are plus in the turnover margin this year so far.
That was like essentially, was that end of half?
I think it was maybe second.
Yeah, it was the
possession,
half.
second half
for the end zone.
After we were,
It was either going to be a punt or try it out.
Whatever. Offensive player of the game for me, I'm taking one from maybe Nate, usually Kyle. I'm going the whole offensive line.
Oh.
We proved them wrong. Our offensive line is good. Guys, I didn't know this when we recorded the last podcast, but Moore, our transfer at center from Pitt, he didn't play against Kentucky. And we rotated 2 different tackles against Kentucky, and it was like a late fall camp injury. So we went into Kentucky throwing in a body that we were not expecting to play at center.
Yes.
And actually, if you look back at the film, we weren't really terrible. Just the defensive line at Kentucky, it's pretty dang good. So I like the offensive line. Coach Hallett's group was very, very good against the Hilltoppers. And defensive player of the game, I'm going Pointer, big boy in the middle. You wear a single digit on the defensive line, as a group of 5 guys would say. That means you're the real deal. I think he's also got a shot to play in the NFL. He had 5 total tackles and a sack. And special teams, I think it's a wash. If we have like a 4 field goal a day, I think I might be able to pick someone. Or if Bryson Hammer can get loose, maybe we'll pick him as special teams player. But for right now, just offensive defense, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yes. He had a nice little 13-yard return, best one of the year. Yeah, he's just not able to break anything loose, but he will this year. In fact, he's going to take one to the house, mark it down. But before the end of the year, the pride of Fremont Ruos will be taking it to the house.
I agree.
And as far as my offensive and defensive players of the game, I'm going with Pat, Chip, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren, respectively.
Dan, you didn't take my offense, but you took my defense. I was also going to go with Pointer. So you took my defense there. I like to hear that big sack.
Yeah.
I'll just go with that for defense. Offensively, I'll change it up. I'm going to go Vanderos. Almost 25-yard average. Got the 1 TD over 122 yards. I'm going to go with him. I'll change it up. I can never go wrong with that either. So
There are a few good picks this week.
Nice.
So.
Yeah, and we went over the top. You guys see that?
So,
His long touchdown?
Yeah.
That was rare for our offense. It's really cool to see that we can just kind of run a go route, and we got someone that's fast enough to get open, and that was awesome. Now, looking around college football, the MAC had a interesting week. You know, Ryan's second favorite team, the Ohio Bobkittens.
It was the good, the bad, and the ugly, huh?
Yeah, they took down West Virginia in Athenstown, Ohio, I would say. A heck of a win for the Bobcats.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, I mean, made you want to sing, stand up and cheer.
Well, do we know if the crowd was a 75% West Virginia crowd? That's what they said it was going to be. I watched the OU highlights. It was pretty damn loud when OU scored and had their stops.
Game. I don't think it was 75% West Virginia. I would say 60-40 Ohio.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking too. Because
Very
if they split like season tickets, then you had the extra 5,000 from the OU students. I think that broke the tie. The student section there at OU was as good as Toledo's against Western Kentucky, I would say. A huge win for the MAC. They get the Buckeyes next week. That's going to be tough for them, but me and Kyle were talking before. I'm thinking a little first half money line from OU.
Oh, yeah, I made a little bold prediction. Ohio might score the most on Ohio State this season. And that's saying a lot playing Texas.
And Parker Navarro wasn't perfect at all. He had 3 turnovers against West Virginia, and they still pulled it out.
I mean, I'm not saying like a crazy amount, but I mean, you only have to beat 7 points.
You're right. Right now, the bar is very low.
Right.
Also, around the league, we did take some bruises. UMass lost to Bryant, and Eastern Michigan lost to the Long Island Shocks. We miss both of those teams. So actually, it doesn't hurt us as much as it might hurt some other teams, but good golly, you can't lose to FCS teams, guys. What are we doing?
We played Long Island a few years ago, and I think we won 56-3.
It was it was never a game. And Long Island also opened with Florida.
The Battling Ice Teas.
Right. They opened with Florida and didn't do much, and then Florida just lost this weekend to USF. So I don't know. That's a puzzling loss for Creighton. Goes back to the coaching rankings. Creighton's been a little stagnant at Eastern. He might be creeping up on a warmer seat than a lot of folks might want to hear there in Ypsilanti. The rest of the MAC, Northern Illinois' defense was very formidable against Maryland. 20-9 loss is not something to scoff at, especially after Maryland blew out Florida Atlantic in week 1. So I don't know. I think the MAC is a pretty defensive league this year. And we are going to be standing alone with one of the better offenses, and hopefully that carries us to that 11-1 season we all wanted.
The only group that scares me in the MAC right now is Central Michigan's defense.
They do look pretty good.
Their defense looks damn good.
Yeah, that Lepakowski, their one linebacker, had a pick 6 against Pitt this week.
Yep.
And Pitt scored with like 30 seconds left to cover. Pat Narduzzi making up for lost time when he couldn't beat the Rockets last year. New Year's Six race. Nate, what are we thinking? What's going on here around the country?
Well, obviously, USF has a bit of a edge right now. According to ESPN, they're actually the 12 seed. So,
yeah.
They had a big week beating the Florida Gators. It was good to see a non-Power 5 beat a Power 5 school. So, they're obviously the chase horse right now. But some other team, I mean, UNLV, I think is definitely in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
They just beat UCLA. So they had a pretty good weekend. 3-0, they're sitting. I think Toledo, I mean, we have enough with our schedule with Washington. Washington State is another one. I don't know what they're considered now. Do they have a bid for the 12 seed or no?
They do not, but they can be an at-large. So they're kind of in the same boat as UConn. And UConn blew it away late. Blew it late against Syracuse. They should have won that game. UConn was kind of a team I was worried about, but lost to Syracuse. Washington State looked a lot better this week than they did in week 1 against Idaho. They barely pulled that thing out.
Yeah, I mean, it's wide open. It's week 2, kind of football left. But if you want a little what the experts experts think. ESPN's projecting Toledo. There are two projections for Toledo bowl wise right now. One is the Boca Raton Bowl down in Florida.
Yeah,
Be nice for you,
They have them playing
Ryan.
Boise State in that bowl.
that'd be awesome for me. Yeah, we're gonna have to cram some people into this 700 square foot condo.
And then the other one is the famous Idaho Potato Bowl in Boise, Idaho, and they had them playing Fresno.
Okay, well, Fresno just picked up a big win this week as well against Oregon State, one of the other Pac-2 members. Watching Oregon State kind of makes me think that Wazoo's going to get 2 wins against the Beavers this year. Nice Beaver. Sorry, that's a throwback to college football.
I just had it stuffed.
Yeah, it's a movie reference. You guys you'll figure it out. Yeah, the rest of the New Year's Six, I think there's probably like 10 or 12 teams that are alive for it. There's obviously more technically that can be, like if Bowling Green wins out, yeah, Bowling Green's the New Year's Six rep, but that's not happening. I like JMU. They just lost to Louisville this week. They still get Liberty on the schedule. So they're 1-1, but they're alive. Texas State has Arizona State this week. They're alive. App State's 2-0. UNLV, as you said, 3-0. Fresno just got a big Power 5 win. Boise, I mean, they got Notre Dame on the schedule, so they're not dead yet. Conference USA, pretty much dead, I would say. And then the American, my goodness, Tulane, Navy, Memphis, North Texas, USF, Army. Army lost to Tarleton State in week 1 and goes on the road and beats Kansas State this week. So they're not dead. It'd be fun to have a G5 representative that lost to an FCS and could still possibly get into the playoff.
Right.
But that's a hell of a win there. Ryan, who are we playing this weekend?
We got the Bears of Morgan State out of Maryland. And another one of those HBCU schools. They're in the MEAC, Mideast Athletic Conference. Whatever. Anyway, yeah, they're come in at 0-2. They lost a couple of tough ones. They went on the road, lost to South Alabama 38-21 in their opener, and then they had a nice little backyard brawl against Towson University. I still want to say Towson State, but they go by University now. 27-22 your final there. So 0-2, couple of tough losses, but yeah, it's I think they're going to have an even bigger loss this weekend, and we'll get to our predictions in a little bit. What do you know about them there, guys?
Well, they're very interesting. They've turned the ball over a lot, and I think if they didn't turn it over as much, they were right in that South Alabama game, a South Alabama team that almost just beat Tulane. One of the best teams that's in it for the New Year's Six race out of the American. 4 turnovers. You can't do that in any game, but they did hold Ohio last year to 21-6 was the final in that game. So I think defensively they're actually okay. Players to look out for, they're defensive. They're like Buffalo on defense. They funnel all their tackles to the defensive tackles and the linebackers. 3 of the top 4 tacklers on the team are linebackers. Eric Hunter is the one to look at. He's got 19 tackles through 2 games. He had 10 tackles, 1 pass defended, half a sack for South Alabama. He's only 6'1", 240, but he might be a problem. We're going to have to watch him. Jason Candle always says, every game, you never know what your matchup's going to be, but you might have the toughest matchup you'll have all season in each game, just depending on what player you are. He might be one of those guys. Also defensively, they got a guy named Blanche Gold on the defensive line. He's their second leading tackler. He's got 13 1.5 sacks.
Blanche.
Jeez, yeah. Kyle, you want to chime in on anything?
I never heard of her.
I agree with Pat this week. Like, if Gleason has any doubt on his knee, just give him a week. I don't think we need to roll him out this week
for sure.
I don't see an issue with Toledo scoring, especially coming after Western Kentucky here. Seems like they got things figured out a little bit.
I think so too. On offense for them, their quarterback's mobile. His name's Kobe. Good luck on pronunciation here. Musau. He's got 8 rushes. He had 8 rushes for 68 yards against Towson as a quarterback. Their running back's decent. Jason Collins, number 2. But he's got a fumbling problem. He's got 28 carries for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns versus Towson. He's got 4 total touchdowns on the year. So Collins is their workhorse on offense. And their number one wide receiver, he's a real little guy, 5'9", 162 pounds. Malik Leatherberry. That's a good name. And then their tight end room's okay. Matt Lowe has their only receiving touchdown on the year. So although they're pretty balanced between offense or between running and passing, they score running the ball. So I think in the red zone, I mean, I liked our run defense this week. What do you guys think?
Absolutely.
Obviously, regular Kentucky, not Western Kentucky, got us for one big run. I think we've shored that up. I'm expecting a traditional Toledo versus FCS game this week where we kind of hand them their business. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm on the same page with that, and I guess we're gonna roll in the score predictions here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Toledo 42 to 10.
I like that.
I'm going to go with Morgan State. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go with Toledo.
You scamp.
And I'm going to say 38-12. 38-12. The Morgan State kicker is going to get a workout.
4 field goals? Wow.
Yeah. Wow. His long this year is 37, and he's only kicked one, but he's 100%, so maybe.
Yeah.
Including a 98-yarder.
I was going to say 52-13. I think it's just like last week. We have the backups are in, and they get something going on, but we're going to handle them. It's what we always do against the football championship
And I'm going to
subdivision.
go almost what you said, only 55-7 Rockets. We're going to give up one late touchdown. We're going to score at will. I mean, I don't know if they have anybody named Will on the team, but we're going to score at him. And Rockets are going to roll.
Which one is Will?
Yeah.
All right, so I've got my pick, and then I have a guest picker score as well.
Oh,
My pick, I'm gonna go 56-3. Rockets win, and then my daughter this week wanted to get on and give a score prediction. Grace is her name. She is 6, and she's my little football travel buddy. She's already been to 8 stadiums, so
nice.
following her dad's footsteps.
You're raising her right.
Yes, and she gave me a score prediction of 41-7. Rockets win.
Very
Nice.
close.
Nice.
Yeah, we're all on the same page this week.
Yeah, nobody. Pat almost made a prediction of a Rockets loss, and just to remind everybody, I say it every year: Rockets have not lost to a 1AA team or FCS team since traveling to McNeese State back in 1988, 46-13 or something like that. They just got their butts whipped down in Lake Charles, Louisiana. So, what do you think, Pat? Think it's time?
I don't know. Why don't we put a blue and gold bow on this bitch and call it a night?
That sounds like a winner to me. So, once again, you were listening to the Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad, brought to you by Whiskey Red Saloon, downtown Toledo, in the Commodore Perry building. They have drinks for us. Just go in and mention you heard it on the Midnight Blue and Gold Launchpad, and you'll get some drink specials and all kinds of good stuff. Isn't that right, Dan?
That's exactly right. Go support the local businesses that are supporting local podcasts. Thank you, Whiskey Red.
On behalf of engineer, producer extraordinaire Kyle W. Smith, I'm Rocket Ryan Brandt.
I am PJ Spiller.
I am Dan Rocket Man Savage.
I'm Nate, the Texas Rocket.
On behalf of everybody, we wish you a great night. Thank you so much for listening. Go Rockets, and we'll see you next week. TOL!
EDO.
Video.